Welcome to the Lessons Learned for Vets podcast page. My name is Lori Norris, and I created this show for you. I want this show to serve as a source of advice and guidance as you navigate the military transition path. I want you to know that you're not alone with what you're going through, and I want you to know that there is only one right way to transition out of the military, and that is the way that you choose to do it. We're just here to help smooth the path ahead of you and advise you about any bumps in the road that you might come across. So if you enjoy this video, please give us a like, subscribe to our page, and I encourage you to go to your favorite podcast provider and listen to the full episode of this show. You can also visit our website at www.ll4forvets.com. I promise you will get some great information. If you haven't yet listened to Monte's full episode, head over to your favorite podcast platform and listen to everything he has to say. But I'm excited to welcome you back for the bonus question, Monte, because you have some really cool things to talk about.
Thanks for having me.
So when you and I talked, you told me that you advocate for people reverse engineering your job description. So kind of like a begin with the end in mind concept, right? So tell me about that.
Find your joy and the money will come. And so I spent so much time with veterans and military spouses last year, one-on-one. A really common theme rose out of that. It seemed like a significant portion of them wasn't sure what they do. That was one basket. The other basket is they wanted to continue doing what they knew because they were comfortable. And so it was one of those two paths. I don't know what I want to do, or I'm just going to go do what I'm comfortable with doing because I know it. And I think I can get some money out of this deal. I wanted people to find their joy first. And so reverse engineering your job description sort of started developing. And I think it's still very much in development. But here's the concept and what I'm suggesting that people do. Go backwards in your life. Use job titles as a trigger to trigger some of these memories. But go back throughout your entire life, all the way back to Boy or Girl Scouts and all the way to your current desired state. And find out the things that you love to do. Not titles, not actions, the actual tasks that you did that you love to do. This could be shooting a bow and arrow at camp, teaching kids how to do that. It could be entering data on a spreadsheet because you love analyzing and looking at that whole picture. I'm talking about the actual tasks that you did that you loved to do, no matter how abstract or unconnected that those things are. Bow and arrows, entering information on a spreadsheet. Two wildly different things, but you may love them equally. Those are the things I want people to capture. Take a sheet of paper. It'll take you a few weeks to go through this process and just start writing down the things that you love doing. You may do something right now. I'm talking to Lori. I love talking to Lori. Let's write that down and make sure that you're capturing all the things that bring you joy, that really excite you. That means if you could do it, it wouldn't feel like work. And no matter how insignificant you think they are, it's going to be really important in the grand scheme of things. So Lori, this whole reverse engineer your job description is finding the things that you love to do task-wise, not jobs or general in nature. I'm talking about very specific tactical type things that you love to do. And you list all of these things out and you'll end up with, a half a sheet or sometimes 2 or 3 pages of things you love to do, which are really giving you the job description. Nobody's ever going to be able to take this job description and walk out there and find 100% match. It just doesn't work that way. But what it does is it creates this filter for you. If you don't know what your joy is and you do this, you just wrote down all of your joy, all of your sources of joy, things that you love. Yeah. And what ends up happening is now you have a filtration system that you can go out to the job market and go, you know what? Based on some of the things that I'm seeing, I'm finding a 30% or a 40% match on this list that my own job description with these kind of jobs or these kinds of industries. That's where you begin your research. That's where you begin your informational interviews. And pretty soon, there will be different opportunities, job titles, industries, and things that you can do that you'll be exposed to that are more aligned with the intrinsic things that bring you joy than anything else that you can possibly do. And I'm such a firm believer that if you find your joy, the money will come. If you do the things that you love, everything else will feel so much better.
I would recommend maybe even taking it a step further and saying, like, why do I love that? So, you talked about, pulling the arrow back and hitting the bullseye in, summer camp when you were 10. Like, why was that such a satisfying process for you? Was it the problem solving? Was it the accomplishment of your goal? Like, what was it about that made you so happy? So maybe follow even the why behind the what so that you can tie that into what you're looking for.
I think the why is kind of the magic sauce that will make all of that work.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. Well, I really appreciate you sharing that with us today on the bonus question. Thank you for everything you do, Monte. I really appreciate you coming on the show, but just thank you so much for everything you do to support this veteran, transitioning military, and spouse community.
It's my community and I love it. Thanks, Lori.
Thank you. Hey, thank you for watching the video today. Have you subscribed to our channel yet? Did you leave us a comment? Have you listened to the full episode of the podcast on your favorite podcast provider? We sure would appreciate it if you would do all of these things to support us today.